Hello. I'm just showing everybody that it's been a little over a year since my dad and I replaced the well pump that's deep down inside of this reservoir. Um, and the pump is pumping water to our house very nicely. There's not really a change at all since we put it in there. It's working great. Before it just failed and we didn't have water coming into our house at all. Replaced the switch inside and it still didn't have water, so we just went to replace the pump and it worked. I was just saying that it's definitely doable. It takes a couple days, depending on how much effort and precision you want to do with it. We found out that ours is about 1 horsepower pump. It's probably because of the length of the pipe and everything and how far it is. But basically, it's about 200 feet down there. So you have to. It's good to get a second person to help guide the pipe while the other one pulls out. Like my dad guided the pipe. He sat there in a chair and he guided so it didn't scratch the corners because there's a wire going around the pipe all the way up that goes into that white PVC pipe. And so he sat there and he guided it. And I kept on pulling, and it's probably half an hour, 15. It felt like 3 hours of pulling, but it was probably like 15 minutes or something. But we just kept on pulling and pulling and pulling, wondering when it was going to come out. But eventually came out, and it was obviously, it's rusty and messed up looking. So we just replaced it. It was just a matter of matching up the wires from the old pump to the new pump once it's out. And along the way, there were a few sections of wire that were exposed or rubbed up against. I don't know if we did it or the previous people did it, but we just wrapped some tape, electrical tape around those sections. So it takes a while. We went and looked at every single wire section along the whole entire 200-foot pipe to make sure that there's no exposed wires along the way. And basically, a year later, and we're doing great. I'm gonna attach a couple videos now to just show you what it's like. But the tricky part is when pulling it out. The section to pull it out is about 5-6 feet down into the ground, and it's attached in a little sleeve. That's where the water comes up and out to the side. It's attached to the sleeve, so you want to. We had to get a piece of, I think it was galvanized pipe that had threading. I forget if it was like 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches or something like that. It could have been 2 inches, but anyway, we screwed that into the section that's down there, and then we actually borrowed a T pipe section that someone else had locally, and that's what we used to pull it from its little sleeve on the inside, and that's what we kept on pulling the pipe and the pump out after that. Hopefully the next couple of videos help out, but that's where we are now, and that's kind of the overall view. Good luck if you're gonna do it. All right, my dad's up there by the well. We had to get this metal contraption to pull this entire line, starting with it screwed into here. Get a little bushing, I think it's called. And then we pulled it up. We just kept pulling and pulling. And keep in mind, this is pretty heavy stuff. It looks like it's not as heavy as it is, but it's pretty heavy. And then pulling and pulling. Here's about the part where we thought we were almost there, because it felt like we were about to pull the pump out, but no, it just kept on coming out and like dying because it's heavy and still coming out. And then got to this point, and probably multiple points up to then, just thinking, where is it? It feels like it's gonna come out, but it's not coming out. Then still not coming out. Goes, wraps around places, and eventually we'll let it sit for a little bit, take a break, and water came out of this pump. This is the old one. It's been in there since 2007 apparently. 1 horsepower. There's the well that we pulled it out of. We think it's 200 feet probably at least long to get to the pump in there. And here's the new pump. Weird angle there. And we just put like an 8,000th layer of protection around the wires. I think it's going to be definitely well coated. I think it's like 4 layers of protection. So we don't have to pull it out again because that was a pain. And currently, as of 2021, the cost of the well pump was $499. It was 1 horsepower, 230 watt, and other information and pictures I have around this time. Huh?
230 volt.
Oh, 230 volt. Did I say watt? Oops.
Yeah.
I meant volt. And I don't know what else to say, but now we had to wait for a day because we put waterproofing. No, not waterproofing. We put liquid electrical tape on there, and it takes a few minutes to dry, but it says it takes about 24 hours to cure, so it's been almost a day. And we're ready to put it in there and get some water going through the house. We already replaced the switch, which I can I was walking and show them real quick. Anyway, I don't know if I can get much light in here, but I don't know if you can see. Oh, there it is. If you see, there's a gauge now. The white thing right behind the pipe that's circular is. Let me just zoom in here. We got the little pressure gauge right in front now, so we can see. Why is it so blurry? This would be a good time to possibly pause the video and just to get an idea what the inside pressure switch and pressure gauge and everything around that look like and how to find it. Also, the blue tank in the back is the compressor, so that could also be a problem if that's low, if you want to check that out. But best of luck to you, and also do all this at your own risk, but please be safe and use the circuit breaker appropriately. There we go. And a brand new pressure switch, which was around $25 or $30. And those, replaced those and cleaned up the pipe connections, and in theory everything should work. We've tested the electrical lines, and there's power getting out to the pump and everything, and it's most definitely the pump. So if it's not the pump, we'll go from there, but that's where we are right now. Alright, so we took out the T-pipe that pulls the whole long pipe out, and we had a hard time finding the actual hole to put the T-pipe in to pull the whole well pump out. So we're just putting some non-toxic yellow paint. It's like 50 cents at Walmart on top, and seeing if it'll help us in the future. Anyway, it shouldn't hurt anything. But this is gonna basically, the T-pipe goes into the hole you screw it in, and then this hole feeds the water from the well pump to the house. But like this whole section sits on the side of the inside of the well pump, about 5 to 6 feet down, and the little catch at the top, I can't really point to it very easily, but it's the upper left of the whole entire thing. That catch is to hold it in there, and this thing's like falling into a sleeve, I think, so that like it sits in there and the water can flow directly into the house. But anytime we want to take it out, we hook it up to the top of this and pull this whole thing out. So that comes out a little wedge hook in the well pump that feeds the water through this line and out this hole on the side into the house. That's just how it works. I don't know if I explained it the best, but ours is on a hill compared to our house, deep, and that's how long the well pumping it up to this hole is, and depending on that is what kind of size it appears your well pump should be. We talked to a guy and he said it was going to be 3/4 horsepower. Like he did it back in 2007. When we pulled it out, it was 1 horsepower, and so we had to go back to Lowe's, and we ended up getting a 1 horsepower. It's like $70 more,
getting around $500 total for us. And it's all the information I could think of. And if you want to, you could, I mean, it was helpful. The guy, Jen just put on a local page on Facebook and see if anybody had that T-pipe. They already did. It saved us money from building and everything. So I'd ask your community, or our community. I don't know who this is going to watch, who's going to watch this. So anyway, that's where we are. And that's how it works.